Hey guys, I'm Michael.
And I'm Cisco.
And we're back again to not give you a review.
We're going to destroy these guns.
Specifically the Classic Army EC2. So let's get into it. Is this thing on? Okay, well, Classic Army EC1 drop test number 1. Let's see what happens. Let's check it out. So let's see if I can get this back on here. But that back on. Lock back in, no problem. Don't need that. Well, it fits. Yeah, still works. So. Yeah, still works.
Quickest way to remove your flash hider.
Okay. Quick way to get the rail off too. So let's take a look at what happened. Oh jeez. Okay. Dust cover came off too.
Good.
Flash hider is completely gone. There's a little dents in the inner barrel as well. The rear pin did come out of the body. I can get it back in there, no problem. Doesn't look like the receivers are any further damaged. Like the rail took the brunt of that one.
The front pin's out.
The upper snapped right here. I believe that's where the rail locked into it, like just past the delta ring on here. But
that's right.
Oh, before we do that, I think this rail's pretty much, it might be able to go back on, but got a few cracked segments right there. Still cycles. Just get the mag in here. Oh wow, still feeds.
Still firing.
Yep. Still feeds everything, so. Let's see what happens on drop number 3. Drop number 3. Well, I can already see the rear pin fell completely out. The pistol grip cracked.
Oh, it did.
Like, yeah, like, huge crack right there. I'm not seeing any other visible damage, but the pistol grip cracking, that might be a hindrance to the motor. Let's see how it's done before. I'm just gonna put that back in there and make sure we don't lose our rear pin. So let's just see what happens.
It's feeding.
Still works.
It improved the grouping.
Did it now?
No, no.
I don't know. I can't tell from this angle. Yeah, still works. Still works. That was drop number 3.
Let's see if number 4 will kill it.
It did on the Lancer, so let's just see what happens. This is gonna be number 4. Last time the Lancer hop-up unit snapped out, I believe, at 4. So let's just see what happens with drop number 4. Alright, so upon inspection, same pistol grip crack, but there's a crack in the lower receiver right here. I can actually see some of the wiring going to the pistol grip for the motor. I mean, overall, this one crack, I'm not seeing any other damage. Let's get the rear pin back in. Don't want to lose that just in case. Let's get this guy back in there. Oh, and then the butt pad flew like way over there.
That looks like
Oh, there it is. I just had to hold the pistol grip up a bit.
Oh, it's a crack.
Yeah, that crack is definitely going to be a huge hindrance, but I'm going to hold the grip up just to make sure it's cycling. But nope. Nope, there it goes. Still feeding and full. I'm actually impressed. I mean, it hasn't stripped yet. When you can get the pinion up into the gearbox, it'll cycle. So, I mean, that was 4 drops. It's still cycling. Pop-up unit's still intact. I say we keep going. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should do a 5th and final test.
All right, cool. that was 4 drops. The Lancer made it through 4. This is number 5, and we know it's almost there, so we're just gonna try to break it anyways.
Oh wow, it's 5.
I think that was the weird adjustment for the iron. Yeah, that was the adjustment wheel for the iron sight. You bent it pretty badly. Forward assist is scratched. Rear pin came out again. Pistol grip looks like it's holding on for dear life. Yeah, screw it. Let's put a battery in it to see what happens. Wow!
It's still firing.
There's still.
I would say if you were really desperate, you could get that to work for the rest of the day.
If you really were, I mean, yeah, if you got some zip ties and made it work, it could potentially do it. So, I mean, that was 5 drops. So, I mean, I don't know what to say at this point. I mean, it works.
On to the next test. The bonus drop. I'm surprised it didn't break in half. I expected the upper receiver to pop off on it.
Nah, you're just weak.
Oh, okay. You do it then, right there.
You want me to do it? Okay.
Do it. There it is.
There it is. Well, it snapped off. I broke the nozzle on that one. The receiver's cracked at that point. So, bonus drop and slam. I mean,
You broke that.
hey. So, let's go on to the next test.
Test number 1, the drop test. Mike, how do you feel about that?
Honestly, I feel like it went pretty well. At first I was like, this isn't going anywhere. But then, further tests in, we saw the gun was still functioning in later drops. It actually held up pretty well, and I'm very happy with how it had performed in the end there.
Actually, I was surprised too. The second drop is what scared me. I busted out laughing because the whole rail system came off. But the internals held solid up until the very last drop where you threw it onto the ground. But overall, it held up very well compared to the Lancer Gen 2. That one took 4 drops before the hop-up unit broke.
That's happens when you use a plastic hop-up unit.
Yep, this one has a metal rotary style hop-up unit. And it took 6, and 6 being lightly used because of that throw still.
So honestly, if I didn't throw it down, it probably would have survived. But even now, I feel it's confident in saying that the gearbox probably could have cycled if you get the pistol grip in the proper position to get the motor in contact with the gears.
Yeah, all the external features could have been replaced, and more than likely, you could have got the gun up and running again. I did remember the crack toward the rear receiver.
If not, you can definitely salvage the gearbox from it, minus like the nozzle on the cylinder head, but that's it.
Yeah. Test number 2, the car test. Held up fairly well. The stock did crack along the side and broke the base plate or the butt plate. The forward assist button came out. Looks to still be aligned. Rail's okay. Fairly solid still. Let's see if it works. It's firing. Feeds every single round. Let's run it over again. Okay. You can see that it is severely bent. I don't think I'd be able to get that back on there. Yeah, it doesn't even latch onto the front pins here anymore. That's all right. Let's see if it fires. Cycles. Still fires. Yeah, still firing. All right, let's give it a third run over. Ooh, that one looks like it bent bad. Tire marks everywhere. No other cracks. Slightly more scratching. Just put it in there. still fires. Yep. Yeah, I think it survived the run over test. Let's go on to the next one. Test number 3. How do you think the Classic Army held up compared to the results of the Lance Tactical?
I mean, other than the butt pad like getting cracked off, it held up great. I mean, it was able to flex out of position and go back to where it needed to be, and then even driving over it, it didn't seem like I heard any crunching or anything like that. It seemed to held up pretty well while I was driving over it, so I give it a thumbs up.
It's funny because I did notice that your rear tire was doing more damage than your front tire, so every time like you were accelerating, you just kind of pushed it a little bit like more. The stock was. I think the stock and the forward assist were the only things that took the damage. The nylon polymer just kind of flexed, so all the internals were good. It fed properly. There was not really too much damage besides some aesthetic scratches to it. Overall, it held up. Test number 3, the dunk test.
It's going to be submerged for about 30 minutes. We got a timer going, so
starting now.
Okay, so here are the dunk tests. We're officially at 30 minutes and 12 seconds. So I'm gonna put that on pause and then pull this out and see if it still works. Got my battery right here. Oh, it works. Oh, I'm gonna take that off. But
Right away.
I think we fried the MOSFET on here. So, dunk test. No go. MOSFET water. Bad. Okay, so that's the dunk test. So test number 3 was the Submergent Test, and that's kind of where the Classic Army had failed compared to the Lancer, but it mainly failed because of the MOSFET that does come in the gun, and I believe the MOSFET did get fried in the middle of that test. The Lancer doesn't have a MOSFET, so that's kind of the tipping point of this one, but honestly, if you were to straight wire it, it probably would still function just fine. I was able to get 3 or 4 shots off, and then the last pull the trigger just ran away from me, so I just had to unplug the battery for safety purposes.
All right, test number 4 is going to be the Egg Nog test.
I'm filling the barrel and the mag with Egg Nog. 'Tis the season. Oh jeez.
Oh goodness.
Tell me when it comes out hot.
It's been coming out. I'll get it. Oh dear.
Okay, that's leaking out.
Oh, it's so slimy. Oh, it's so sticky. It's so bad. Oh. I feel wrong. When Michael was pouring it in, I was looking directly into the mag well, and I did see it seeping into the gearbox as well. Unlike the mayo test where one of our techs opened it up and then we like filled it to the brim with mayo. This one kind of just seeped through. Still fired, still worked. I'm pretty sure if you cleaned it off directly after, it still would survive.
I definitely agree with that one. It'd probably be just fine if you were to clean the gearbox out, put everything back together, and you'd be fine. The Egg Nog test.
The Egg Nog test.
So overall, I feel like the gun held up pretty well. I mean, we put it under extreme circumstances and situations that you should probably never put any gun through, but we did it anyways because who doesn't enjoy destroying a gun, right?
I honestly feel that the Classic Army lasted a little bit longer than the Lance Tactical did. I feel the MOSFET is a bonus because it helps protect the gun from the battery. Granted, no one's gonna really be jumping into the water. If you do, good luck to yourself. In an airsoft game at least, but
I mean, unless you're literally, like he said, going swimming in it, just your gun's not going to survive that. Unless you got a gas gun, but for an AEG, do not submerge your gun in water. That's just asking for problems.
Yeah, definitely. But overall, it held up much better than I thought. It was a lot more flexible than the LT Gen 2, especially with the car test. I was expecting the car to just destroy it, just like the Lancer Tactical, but it flexed, it worked. I could probably just throw a battery in there and still run a full day of games with that. Of course, the drop test one is completely destroyed. The Egg Nog test, we're not even gonna bother with that one. Overall, I think it's still a good buy. Normally retails for
$165.
yeah, about 165, 170. Comes with battery, charger, and it does. We didn't show everything in the box, but it does come with. This one in particular comes with rail panels and a vertical grip as well. Everything that you need to get out and go play.
We do also have specials where you get the gun and a red dot, as well as a gun, suppressor, and an extra high cap as well. And we do have starter packages with these as well. Or is it the EC1 that the starter packages are?
I am not too sure, but there is a starter package with
a Classic Army Nylon Fiber gun.
Yeah. All the skirmish guns are going to have the same internals. They're going to perform exactly the same internally, give or take FPS for whatever model that you're looking at. But the reliability will be there throughout all of the versions. Thank you guys for watching our torture test videos on the Classic Army EC2. If you liked the video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more content.
And also, if you're in the SoCal area, make sure you go to the Team Therapist game down in Escondido at Mr. Paintball. It's going to be the last one that they host, and it's going to be dope. There's going to be a ton of people there. We got raffle, giveaways. We're going to be there. It's going to be a ton of fun. You really guys should just definitely go check that out if you're in the area.
We will be there recording gameplay footage and obviously playing. So if you want to play with us, come by. Any confirmation on the team that we're playing? I'm not sure yet.
I don't know yet. We'll
find out. It'll be a surprise.
The
There's green or tan. Choose your fate. We will see you guys there. Have a good one.
I'll bring Egg Nog. Well, we did the Egg Nog test, and we still got all this Egg Nog left over, so this is the gun funnel. Safety first.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Let's just do this.
Don't die, Michael. Michael, you must live. Throw it up. Throw it up. Just throw it up.
I'm good. I'm good. This has been GITV.
Oh, God. Don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead. You really like eggnog, huh, Mike?
I'd rather not talk about it.